If you're tired of being ignored, not taken seriously, or always having to explain yourself just to be heard, then stop right now and pay attention. Today, you're going to learn a Machiavellian manipulation technique that can make anyone respect you, without yelling, without humiliating yourself, and without changing who you are. This strategy is inspired by ancient principles used by leaders like Niccolò Machiavelli, the man who wrote the famous book, The Prince, and who mastered the game of the mind long before modern psychology even existed. And listen, this isn't some cheap trick or magic, it's intelligence, it's perception. Today, you'll understand what truly makes someone respected and how you can activate that, starting today, in any environment, at work, at home, with friends, or even with strangers. If you master this art, you'll never be seen the same way again. Oh, and real quick, check if your notification bell is already turned on. That way, YouTube will always let you know when a new video like this drops, and you won't miss any powerful insights. Have you ever stopped to think why so many people aren't respected? Sometimes they're good, intelligent, even hard-working people, yet they keep getting ignored, interrupted, and even ridiculed. Do you know what the most common mistake is? Trying to be accepted, wanting to please everyone, explaining too much, justifying everything. And guess what? That sends a message of weakness. And the truth is harsh. The more you try to fit in, the more people feel they can control you. And it's not because they're bad, it's instinct. People test limits all the time. And if you don't set your own, someone else will impose theirs on you. Machiavelli once said that being loved is great, but being feared, being respected, is much safer. He understood centuries ago something that still holds true today. Respect doesn't come from how much you please, but from how much you impose your presence. When you're always trying to please, you become predictable. And when people can predict all your reactions, you become controllable. That doesn't mean being arrogant, cold, or distant. It means having posture. It means knowing how to control your words, your gestures, and even your silence. It's about sending a clear message. I know who I am, and I don't need your approval to exist. Machiavelli called this a strategy of perception, where you don't fake being someone else, but learn how to project strength and confidence even in silence. It's a way to manipulate how others see you without lying, without forcing it. And once you master that, the game changes completely. That's where real transformation begins. And the respect you've always looked for starts coming naturally, without you ever having to ask for it. And you? When was the last time you felt disrespected and stayed quiet just to keep the peace? Share your story in the comments. I want to read it. Meanwhile, I'll keep going. Now that you understand why respect doesn't show up when you ask for it, but rather when you impose your presence, let's talk about the practical techniques that Machiavelli, if he were alive today, would definitely use. And the best part, they're all simple to apply, but powerful. It all starts with your posture. And here comes strategic silence. Speaking less is power. Simple as that. When you talk too much, explain yourself too much, you open the door to being analyzed, criticized, and devalued. Silence, when used with intention, conveys self-control. It forces others to pay attention to you. Machiavelli said that even silence can be a form of domination, because those who talk too much reveal their game. Try this in a conversation. Listen more than you speak. Well-placed pauses create tension, respect, and anticipation. People start choosing their words more carefully when they realize you're not trying to fill the silence. Because those who are comfortable in silence are in control. And since we're talking about control, here comes ambiguity. Never reveal everything at once. You don't need to give away 100% of your opinion, intentions, or plans. That's not lying. It's keeping the mystery. When you leave blank spaces, people fill them with respect or even admiration. Machiavelli called this the shadow game, where what you hide is worth more than what you show. A touch of ambiguity creates curiosity and makes others think twice before confronting you. Be clear when necessary, but always keep something reserved. And for all this to work, you need to cut the dependence on external validation. Show through your actions that you don't need anyone's approval. You can listen to criticism and advice, but never give the impression that you're desperate for recognition. The more you seek validation, the more power others feel they have over you. When you validate yourself, when you stand firm in your own decisions, even if it goes against others' expectations, you earn respect. That's pure Machiavelli, keeping your image solid without needing anyone's applause. But what about when it's time to speak? That's where firmness comes in. Being assertive isn't being rude. It's knowing how to say no calmly. It's setting boundaries with clarity without losing emotional control. Machiavelli believed that the true leader was the one who could impose their will without resorting to chaos. If someone tries to push something on you that you don't want, you reply, "I understand your point of view, but that's not the direction I'm going to take." Simple, direct, no yelling, no justification. That's how you command respect intelligently. Want a practical example of all this? Imagine this situation. Someone interrupts you in the middle of a meeting or an important conversation. Most people would feel uncomfortable, maybe let it slide. But observe this person. "So, as I was saying," you calm, looking them in the eyes. "Just a second, I haven't finished yet." Silence. You don't yell, don't confront, but your posture shows that you know your value and won't be brushed aside. This is the kind of behavior Machiavelli would applaud: control without aggression, authority without needing threats. Now imagine applying these techniques in your daily life. Over time, not only will you start being respected, but you'll also begin to influence the environment around you. You become a presence people notice and respect. Now that you've learned the Machiavellian techniques that can transform how people see you, I have a simple question for you. Did you find this content helpful? If so, give me that like. That's how I'll know you want more videos like this, with strategies that truly make a difference in your life. And of course, if you think this can help someone, share it too. Let's spread this strategic mindset. Now that you already know how to build respect, I'm going to explore an even more powerful concept, the game of social status. And here comes something essential that Machiavelli taught in The Prince. Power lies in controlling how others perceive you. First, you need to understand that in any social interaction, there's a constant game of status. Some people naturally try to position themselves above others, while others place themselves below, seeking acceptance. Machiavelli's secret was knowing where to position himself strategically to dominate the game of power. He said that true leadership doesn't come only from strength, but from the perception others have of your authority. If you want to be respected, you must be seen as someone of status, someone who doesn't need to ask for respect, but instead commands it through their presence. So how do you position yourself above others without seeming arrogant? The answer lies in controlling the narrative. This is something Machiavelli believed was essential. You must be the architect of how people perceive you. When you can control how people see you, you hold the key to manipulating respect and admiration. The key to respect is in controlling the narrative. Whether in a group, a meeting, or any social interaction, your narrative needs to be clear and powerful. That means showing confidence in your words and actions, but also not rushing to demonstrate everything you know. Machiavelli always advised keeping control of information and never revealing everything at once. Those who reveal everything lose the mystery and, with it, the power. But beyond controlling the narrative, you also need to make others see you as indispensable or superior. That doesn't mean being arrogant or making others feel inferior. Machiavelli often spoke about the importance of showing that you have something others don't, something that makes them dependent on you. whether it's a skill, a vision, or a strategic stance. He believed that power comes from being unique and necessary to the group, and those who are indispensable automatically gain the respect of others. When you position yourself as someone with something unique to offer, respect naturally follows. It's not about being the best at everything, but about being seen as the person who can offer something no one else can. You become a key piece in the social puzzle, and that's what creates an aura of respect and superiority without needing to force anything. One way to apply this is by showing your experience or vision subtly, without bragging. Instead of saying, "I'm the best at this," you can demonstrate through your actions and behavior that you have the solution others need. This is the foundation of Machiavellian manipulation, influencing without being obvious, and earning respect without having to ask for it. If you're finding these strategies powerful and want to learn more about mastering the art of Machiavellian manipulation and the power of social dynamics, make sure to subscribe to the channel. Here we talk about tactics that truly make a difference in your life, and you won't want to miss any new content. So go ahead and subscribe to always stay. When applying Machiavellian manipulation strategically, you're not just trying to impress people or be accepted. The goal is to create a natural sense of authority, something others recognize without you having to ask for it. The true essence of respect, according to Machiavelli, is the control of others' perceptions of you. This doesn't mean you need to be feared or hated. Machiavelli made it clear in his work, The Prince, that real respect comes from the ability to control situations in your favor without resorting to force or excessive fear. The secret lies in how you balance your presence and influence so that people respect you for your strategic intelligence, not just for what you can do for them or against them. Now, it's important to understand the difference between being feared, respected, and loved. To be feared is when people are afraid of you, but don't necessarily respect you. This kind of power might work in the short term, but it doesn't create genuine respect. People may submit to you, but they won't admire you. Respect, on the other hand, is deeper. It comes from the ability to show superiority without humiliating others, from being someone who influences naturally without forcing anything. True respect is when people recognize your value and competence, not out of fear, but because of your posture, actions, and decisions. Finally, love is a strong emotional bond, often the goal of fair and caring leadership, but harder to control strategically. Respect, however, can be gained and maintained through proper control of social dynamics, which is Machiavelli's focus. He understood that to be an effective leader, you must master the dynamics of power and influence people in a way that makes them respect you for your intellectual and strategic authority, not just for kindness or charm. So when should you use these tactics? Machiavelli advised never to show all your cards at once, because the more you're perceived as unbeatable, the more people will respect you. You need to use these techniques with balance. It's not about being aggressive or insensitive, but about positioning yourself strategically so that others recognize your authority and respect you genuinely. At the same time, it's important to know when to step back. You don't always need to be the center of attention or show your power aggressively. Sometimes, true strength comes from the ability to take a step back, to not have to force respect, but to let it come naturally. Applying these Machiavellian techniques strategically not only generates genuine respect, but also establishes your social authority in a way that people see you as indispensable and superior, without you ever needing to ask for it. Machiavelli knew that controlling social dynamics is what truly guarantees lasting respect and social dominance. We've reached the end of our Machiavellian manipulation journey, and one thing is certain: you don't need to ask for respect. The true key to respect lies in becoming someone who commands it, just as Machiavelli taught us with his powerful principles. When you understand and apply the tactics of posture, control, and influence, it's no longer necessary to wait for others to treat you with respect. They'll do it on their own because you've become someone impossible to ignore. Throughout this video, we've discussed how you can shift people's perception of you, apply social dominance strategies, and most importantly, use Machiavelli's ideas to become someone respected without having to demand it from anyone. With the techniques you've learned, you can begin to shape your image, not based on fear, but on a strategic presence that radiates power and authority. This is the kind of power Machiavelli believed to be essential for true leadership. It's not about being feared by everyone, but about being respected for the way you position yourself, the intelligence with which you handle social dynamics, and the subtle control you exert over situations. That is true power, and you have the ability to master it. If this made sense to you, if you now understand that respect doesn't come from submission or fear, but from your strategic posture and how you control your image, then hit that like button now. Because if you enjoyed this content, you're going to love what's coming next. Subscribe to the channel and turn on the bell so you don't miss anything we're about to share on how to manipulate social dynamics and gain real respect. Here we play the mind game, and with the right strategies, you can achieve the success and social dominance you've always desired. So, if you want to be someone who commands respect instead of asking for it, subscribe, like, and get ready to learn even more about the techniques that can transform the way you interact with the world. Don't miss a single opportunity to master these Machiavellian techniques that Machiavelli left as a legacy for those who truly want to be respected and influential.